That's cool. I should have brushed my hair. Should I brush? It's cool. I'm not trying to be pretty, but I probably should have brushed my hair first. It's cool. We'll be alright. You know I look good, gang. Night owls, a symbol. Holy from Delaware. What? I can't read your name. I don't know how to say it. How's it going, guys? Good morning. Top of the morning to you. Baby Ruth. Okay. From Detroit. Okay. What's up, D? We got the D in the building. Who else we got in the building? How has YouTube been lately for me? It's actually been pretty good, to be honest. I know, right? That's why I put it in here. Because I like it. It's cool. It deserves, like, front row action. There we go. Because I was trying to find a good angle for it. That's good. It just looks cool, so I'll just put it there. Thank you, by the way. It was just sitting in the garage over there, um, on top of the washer or dryer, whatever that is. Frisbee, what's going on? But YouTube been lately, it's been pretty enjoyable. My channel been ever since I've been ever since I relapsed, bro. It's been going up. It's been actually getting more attention and stuff. It's crazy, but it be like that, But I like going. I've been going. I've been liking to go live lately. I just like going live. Austin, what's going on? Yeah, I love just being on YouTube, and I'm so grateful that I got to this point because I didn't expect it to grow this fast. Honestly, like not even a little bit. Like it blew my mind, dude. I say this all the time. I know, but it's because it's true. Like I didn't expect it to go viral and shit like that. Like I mean, eventually I knew that my channel would grow, but the way that it happened and like the speed at which it happened was just blessing from God. Katrina, what's going on? I ain't seen you in here in a minute. I remember you was like the first member. Katrina was the first member. I remember I was going live in the storage unit. I used to go live in the storage unit. And Katrina became my first member when I first launched memberships. Hell yeah. You got a gold star now. Damn. It's just the storage locker stories. That's what's up, man. Appreciate you. I'm alright, Katrina. How's you? Yeah, the world loves to see people at their lowest, but keep going, bro. I believe in you. And God got your back for real. I was just reading the Bible. I was just reading the Bible for like a good 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes. Um, because somebody had another one of my day ones had commented a scripture, and I was looking for. I couldn't find Peter. I can't find Peter in there. Like I don't know if it's. I just can't find. I can't. I'm not thinking. I don't know if it's like the book of Peter is super small, but I couldn't find it when I was just looking for it. But I ended up just looking for some other stuff, and I ended up just reading some Psalms because I love reading Psalms. But first person ever seen get arrested on YouTube. Chris, what's going on, man? But yeah, um, dude, like this is real life, bro. Like I just I really don't be planning a lot of this. A lot of stuff I didn't plan, bro. It's just I'm just going with life, man. Like I just shit happens, bro. It's life. But it's just my life, you know. Like my life is I just love my life, the good and the bad, you know, and the ugly. Got to. I just try to keep moving forward, you know. Try not to look back and just grateful for the future and the present, like right now. John 3:16. But I want to do a thing that I've done before. I haven't done in a while. I'm gonna roll up to a joint. You know what's crazy? I was thinking about going live, smoking some weed, but not no time soon though. It's gonna be a while before I do some shit like that, like smoke a blunt with y'all. Like my first blunt in a long time. I'm gonna get on live and just get fried with y'all. That'd be cool, right? Cause I do, man. Like we do something different though. Like I be paranoid on weed too. I be paranoid as fuck on weed. Like I remember back when I was living in storage unit, my channel started blowing up, right? And I had smoked some weed and and I fucking took all my videos down. Like the ones that's when my channel really started blowing up. I just took all my videos down because I was so paranoid on weed. Like the weed really give me paranoid too, like for real. And I was bugging. Like weed really had me paranoid. But at the same time, like once I get over that, especially like when I first started smoking, bro. When I first started smoking, I'd be like bugging. I really need to be staying sober for real, but is weed legal in Detroit? Hell yeah, weed legal in Detroit. My uncle go up to Michigan all the time to buy their weed up there. But I mean, weed legal in Ohio now too. You know. But that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, once I like my tolerance get high better on weed, then it's like okay, then that's when like the creativity come in because like my thoughts go like 100 miles per hour. Like my thoughts, they just it's just like they not my thoughts. It's like they is, but they not. You know. Because you know like a lot of creative like artists, a lot of artists and like rappers and like people that create and like people that just do art, they smoke weed because weed is like a fucking is from earth and it's straight from it's a gift from God and it's like just give you all type of because you know people come up with all type of crazy shit on weed. You think of some shit you you think of some shit that you would never think of if you was sober on weed. But I remember like when I was like I remember like weed helped me with like drawing and shit like that's where my I mean I really started drawing when I was sober for real, but like when I was smoking weed, that's when I really can like really start like draw real good. That's like one of the weird reasons why I want to smoke some weed because it helped with creativity a little bit. But at the same time though, like if I'm smoking some weed, then like my dreams, like I won't have good dreams. I don't I like to dream, you know. Yeah, we don't make you an artist, but like I said, at least from my experience, it helped with my creativity. but it don't make it though. It's just a lot of successful people smoke weed, you know, because it can make you lazy. But yeah, I'm not gonna be smoking no weed no time soon. Not even in the near future. Paint. I don't really care to paint, but I do want to. I do want to. I have painted before, and it was fun. I do enjoy painting, but I like to draw with pens. I like to draw with these type of pens, like these sharp pens, like these fine point pens. I like to draw with pens like them right there. That's what I like to draw with. These are my favorite types of pens, like the ones that like that fine point, the super fine point. What kind of point is this? This a extra fine point. These are my favorite types of pens. I don't like regular pens, like these. I don't like drawing with these. I mean, I will, but I prefer like the fine point. I don't like drawing. I don't really care to draw with pencils. I'll draw with some markers. It all depends on the canvas, you know. Like I gotta have certain like I like to have certain types of paper because I could just look at it like I could just look at some paper, right, and I could just be like, man, I want to draw something on that, you know. Yeah, I was trying to sleep too. I was trying to sleep too, but I couldn't sleep. And yeah, because God was just calling me, and I got up, and He pointed me straight to the Bible. So I was just reading my Bible right before I got on live, and yeah, I feel better now because I was kind of like tired, and I got re-energized once I started reading that Bible, man. And yeah, it is though. That's what I was saying when I first got on live. I'm like, damn, I should have brushed my hair because my shit is looking weird, gang. I don't know what's up with my hairline, with my hair. I don't know. I need to start brushing. I look crazy. I need to get back in the gym, bro. That's what I need because I haven't brushed my hair in like weeks. Not because I was just saying that when I first hit the live, I was like, damn, my shit I look crazy as fuck. Right when the live started, I'm like, let me go grab my brush, bro, because I really do want to brush my shit. Yeah, I got my brush though. I was just thinking like, damn, I do need to brush my shit. Hell yeah. Cause I lost my other. I had a, this is a Torino Pro. You don't know nothing about that gang. But I had a red one. This like a harder. This like a medium, but I had like a soft one. It was red. I dropped it in the fucking toilet at the other sober house I was living in, and it was pissing in the toilet. I was so mad, bro. Cause these brushes is like $20. But that's when I really stopped wanting to brush my shit. Cause I had just got a fresh cut too. But this brush cool for like doing this. Like, but if I get a fresh cut, I can't use this brush because it's too hard. But I do need to get back in my self care bag because my waves was getting there for sure. I'll be put some oil in it and some water, and but yeah, I told them about you and I saw your page. You told who about me? Brush your beard. I have my brothers who want to fellowship with you on my feet. Yeah. Oh, okay. He talking about Holy Light. What's going on, brother? NYC Smoke 333. Hey. All right. We finna read. I'm finna read this book. I just found this book I was at an 8 a.m. meeting earlier, and right before I left, I just seen this box. Had some books in it, and I just found this book, and I'm finna read it a little bit, cause I like reading. I might read a little bit of Bible. I got my Bible right here too. I might read a little Bible or something. Should I do that first or what? 4 a.m. Where you at? Where's it 4 a.m. at? You must be in like Utah or some shit. It's just a black amount when I'm smoking. He said I'm down to listen to that Bible reading. Oh yeah, it is an hour ahead up north, huh? Yeah. Oh, Florida. Okay. Oh, so you in Detroit? Okay. Well, yeah. Let's go ahead. It's called "Empty Promises" by Pete Wilson. It smells weird. It smell. Not smell like sweet or something. This book smells good as hell. But yeah, it's called "Empty Promises." Um, I don't really look at too much into it until now. So okay. Okay. All right, let's start off with chapter 1, y'all. And I got my phone because, like, when I read books and I see words that I don't know, I got to look up the definitions and write them down because I just like learning new words and I just like to know exactly what words I'm reading. And I just don't like to be ignorant and. So if I stop and, you know, I'm going to stop periodically and write down definitions of words and look them up. Chapter 1, Deceptively Good. I've been given an incredible gift. In fact, I've actually been given 13,790 gifts. That's how many days of life I've been given to date. Out of those 13,000 plus days I've been given, some have been challenging, some depressing, some adventurous. A few I wouldn't mind living over and over and over. I'm sure I can actually pick an all-time favorite, but I sure have some have had some memorable ones. There was the one day I was born. That was a good day, I'm told. The day I learned to walk was pretty good too. The day I fell in love for the first time. Who could ever forget that one? The day I got my driver's license was definitely a good one for me. I bet it was a scary day for my parents. The day I got married was a big one. And the days my wife, Brandy, gave birth to each of one of our 3 sons, and I held them in my arms for the first time. Unforgettable. This is a good book so far. I like this book so far. Then there are the days like one I experienced recently while on vacation with my family in Florida. Brandy and I sat on the beach with our feet in the sand, discussing our dreams for the future. With every word that came out of our mouths, we realized just how blessed we are. As we talked and dreamed together in the sun, we watched our 3 boys, who are now 9, 6, and 4, leaping over the ocean waves without a care in the world. A few hours later, we all sat on the beach together and watched the golden sun seem to drop into the ocean. That day will be etched into my mind for a lifetime, not necessarily for what we did, but for how I felt. So many of my deep desires for purpose, worth, significance, acceptance, security, love, and beauty were met. For a few brief hours, it seemed like the perfect day. Sadly, it didn't last. Because right in there with those wonderful, good, blessed days, there have been plenty of days when I struggled with a nagging or even painful sense of wanting more. when who I am and what I have just didn't seem like enough. Do you ever feel that way? I believe we all do at one time or another. Some things just seem to be consistent among most people I encounter on this earth. We enjoy how it feels when the wind blows across our faces. We root for the we root for the underdog. We love how it feels to win, and we don't like being told what to do. We're awestruck when we see lights in the Grand Canyon, Niagara Falls, or a bright red tree in the middle of autumn. We love hearing the laughter of a small child. We're disgusted by the contents of a chicken nugget, but we still eat them once in a while. Well, maybe at least that one is just me. And beyond that, I believe most of us have a deep longing to feel certain things. 21 days after you were conceived, a tiny little electrical impulse stimulated your heart muscle. It was so faint I could hardly hear it be detected. But it was in fact the very first beat of your heart. From that moment, you've been on the journey, and there are certain things your soul longs for on this journey. Whether you've realized it or not, your life is shaped by your search for them. You're designed to throw away your energy and your respect toward. Ooh, hold on, I had to burp. This is a pretty good book so far, right? I like this book. Respect toward whatever you believe you can provide with what you desire. Purpose, worth, significance, acceptance, security, love, and beauty. This is true for every one of us. We all long for more of something in our lives. I got a burp. Hold on, y'all. There we go. Excuse me. We all treasure something or someone above our everyday experience. We all give our devotion to somebody or something. These impulses are part of our DNAs, etched into our natures as normal and natural as breathing. I believe they have been placed inside our souls by our Creator God. Simply put, we are people wired to worship. The question isn't, do we worship? The question is, who or what do we worship? I believe the yearning for more than the haunts of us all exists to ultimately lead us to the person of Jesus Christ. That drive to worship is designed to impel us into proper relationship with one who can fulfill our deepest desires. Simply put, we are people wired to worship. The question, okay, I already read that part. It was just like a part where it's like bigger. It's a pretty good book. I didn't think it was gonna be talking about Jesus in here, but it do. This is showing my cards a bit early, but I'm convinced that only through Jesus will we ultimately discover our soul's contentment. Yes, we may encounter good days or even the occasional perfect day, but our longing souls will never discover true satisfaction until we turn to Him. And whenever we attempt to find fulfillment elsewhere, we open ourselves up to a world of fulfillment and frustration. The Idol Factory. On my first trip to Kolkata, India, I visited a temple called the Kali Temple. Thousands of Hindus in Calcutta, Calcutta line up every day to pray to the goddess Kali. They worship her, hoping to gain power, victory, and healing in certain areas of their lives. Some of the ways they worship astounded me. Not that many years ago, child sacrifices were common. Today, 100 to 150 goats are sacrificed daily at the Kali Temple. A pool just outside the temple is believed to have healing powers. People pay to have their families and friends lowered into the murky, stagnant waters. There is also a tree with red ribbons hanging all over it. When I asked about the tree, I learned that women pay money to buy these red strings and tie them onto the tree, praying that Kali will allow them to have. I don't know who the hell this is talking about. Oh, it's talking about adultery. Yeah, see, I didn't know nothing about this book. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Kali, who is Kali? Kali. He's talking about in India. Something talking about India. Is that what that is? Is that Jehovah's? This is not Jehovah's. Huh? I don't know what this is. But now it's talking. It was just talking about Jesus. Now it's talking about some type of temple in India. Okay, I see where it's going. There's also a tree where I learned that women pay to buy these red strings and tie them up to the tree, praying that Cali will allow them to have children. I walked away with the supreme sense of sadness and darkness. How could a group of people be lured into such a ridiculous lie? How could they not see that this was just an elaborate money making scheme for a handful of greedy priests? But do you know what is equally ridiculous? You and I believing that a little more money is going to make us happy. You and I believing that moving up one more position at work is going to give us value. You and I believing that if we could just get a particular person to love us, we would have security. Idols, in other words, aren't found just in pagan temples. You see, I'm not really concerned that we are going to worship a tree. The real problem in our culture is not the making of physical idols, what some call external idolatry. Adultery. What we have to guard against in our culture is internal adultery. Ezekiel 14:3 describes this. These men have set up idols in their hearts. What is an idol? Traditionally, we define it as anything that is more important to us than God. But I find that people shrug that definition off too readily. It's easy to fool ourselves into thinking that nothing is more important to us than God. So let's define it like this. Adultery is when I look to something that does not have God's power to give me what only God has the power and authority to give me. It's when we take good things like a successful career, love, material possessions, even family, and turn them into hope that they'll provide what only God can provide. It's when we buy into the empty promise that such things can give us the significance, security, safety, and fulfillment we crave. It's when we feel a God given appetite and try to fill it with something that isn't good. John Calvin famously said, "The human heart is a perpetual factory of idols." I agree. When I look back on my own life, I see a distinct pattern of depending on trivial things to give me what only God can give me, and the results aren't pretty. If I'm really honest with you, there are nights after the lights go out and the noise in my life dissipates that I lie there in my bed, acutely aware of an inner emptiness. And while I have moments and even days of what seem to help deep satisfaction or soothing peace, those feelings evaporate quickly. I run and run after them, but they seem as fleeting as a disappearing sun. And then once again, that gnawing inner emptiness is back. Have you felt it too? That unquenchable longing that tempts you to sacrifice everything you have and everything you are to be a little more beautiful, a little richer, a little more powerful and successful, a little more secure or in control, a little more loved, all in this futile attempt to heal the inner emptiness. It's so easy to fall into the trap of if only. If I own this, I will feel worthy. If I achieve that, I will feel significant. If I had what they have, I will be content. If I made a little more money, I would finally be satisfied. If I got that promotion, I would feel valued. If I could only get that person to love me, I would have security. But sooner or later, we discover that the heartbreaking truth that no matter how beautiful or rich or powerful we become, it's never enough. Most people, if they had really learned to look into their own hearts, would know that they do want acutely something that cannot be had in this world. There are all sorts of things in this world that offer to give it to you, but they never quite keep their promise. Mm. We can sacrifice everything for these promises, but they will just leave us with wanting, longing, used, and empty. We'll never find what we need in an idol. Unfortunately, that doesn't stop us from trying. The waiting rooms of life. You are the most vulnerable soul I've ever seen. What's the belief that you hold that might be completely wrong? Mine is aliens, but who knows? Can you look up the Bible? Genesis is the answer to your video when you said you know you are not a Christian. This is 30 is 25. You're all, if you know how to freestyle off the top of your head, you're welcome to join my rap contest. This Friday is called Freestyle Prizes of Amazon Gift Cards. Okay. I don't. I mean, I do like get this. I do get the rapping sometimes, but like I'm not like. I'm more of a writer, bro. I don't really like. I can freestyle, but like I'm more of a poetry writer type of guy. I did freestyle rap. That day I went live juggling. I did. I was rapping. I was freestyling a little bit. What y'all think of this book so far? I think it's a pretty good book. It's pretty deep. It's a deep book. Like I said, I didn't think he was talking about. I didn't think he was talking about God in this book. I just read the title and I don't know. It's called Empty Promises: The Truth About You, Your Desires, and the Lies You're believing. Thought it was a pretty good book. I got a thing for book. I got like a book fetish gang. Like I got a book fetish, bro. If I see a book, if I could just feel like it's a good book, I just grab it and just throw it in my hoard. I got so many books. But this is just a black and mild gang. I can't puff past a black and mild. Do you play music on stream or no? I don't because like just like I was talking about last night. Like when I go to the gym, bro. Like a lot of songs will get copyrighted on YouTube, bro. It's so corny, and then like my video won't be able to get monetized, bro. It's stupid. So like, but I was looking into this thing where it's like I gotta find like which songs aren't copyrighted, which is like a fucking like jumping through hoops. I gotta jump through hoops to find out, like which songs. Where can I find like a playlist of songs that I can play on YouTube Live that won't get copyrighted and fuck up my money? You know what I'm saying? He said, "On God, give that book a try." Yeah, I like this book. I'm gonna keep reading it. I just want to stop and see what's up, with y'all. When I get my car back, am I gonna go on a road trip? I gotta get my car fixed, man. I got a couple things that's wrong with my car that need fixed. I took it to the shop about a week and a half ago, and it's a lot more wrong with it than I thought, but it's really like two things that I really need to get fixed to where I can actually take a road trip. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's really only like two major things that need fixed like ASAP, and it's probably gonna cost me like, cause I got a fucking Audi, dude, and Audis is expensive. They expensive, but yeah, it wasn't my long time. But I do want to take me a motherfucking road trip though. I was talking about last night. I want to go to South Carolina. I want to go to the beach. I don't know about going to Florida, gang. I don't know. I'm just some telling me to stay away from Florida, bro, and just go to like with the Carolinas or something like that. But let's get back to this book. The waiting rooms of life. Scripture is full of examples of our constant need to grab at almost anything to try and fill our deep, built-in longings for worth, significance, acceptance, love, and beauty. One of the first and greatest examples is found in Exodus 32. Let's read Exodus 32. I think he might have got it in here, but I don't know if he got it from KJV. So we're going to check it out in KJV. Exodus is in the back right. No. Oh, Exodus is in the Old Testament. Is it Exodus 32? Israel's golden calf. Is Exodus 32. You talking about the Divine Stories video? And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down and out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us. And as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. And I and all the people broke off all the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them into Aaron. They had earrings back then. They had all types of jewelry back then. What am I? They had all jewelry was cool. Was real back then. Of course, they had earrings. And he received them at their hand and fashioned it with the graving tool. And after he made it to the molten calf, and they said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which brought up thee out of the land of Egypt. And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made a proclamation and said, Tomorrow is a feast to the Lord. And they rose up early on the morrow, and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings, and people sat down to eat, to drink, and rose up to play. People saw that Moses delayed came out of the mountain and gathered, and they make us gods. Interesting. I don't know nothing about that. Your joy is your sorrow unmasked. YouTube full of savages tonight. YouTube is always full of fucking savages, dude. It's the internet. They're all over the internet. You did not read Exodus chapter 20. Ten Commandments for Israel. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, and out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt not have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make thee. Is that what you just told me to read not too long ago? Hold on. That's crazy if it was. Hold on. No, you said Genesis. You must know the Bible really well. Thou shalt not make up unto thee graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God. So why was what I just read, where he was just saying, where they were saying, make these your gods. What did he say? It's crazy. Yeah, he said, and when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which ye shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man brought up Adam and Eve. Huh. Interesting. Visiting in the land of visiting visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon their children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath day of the Lord. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and the earth and the sea, and all that in them is, and rested on the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, and thy days may be long upon the land which is the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Now read Jeremiah 31:31. Okay. This fun, gang. I ain't gonna lie to you. Oh, we made ourselves gods in Egypt. Okay. 31:31. A new covenant. Behold, thy days to come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with thy house of Israel and that without the house of Judah. Hmm. Now let's read Jeremiah 29:11. One of my favorites. For thus said the Lord, that after 70 years be accomplished that Babylon, I will visit you and perform my good word toward you, and causing you to return to this place. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, said the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Then shall ye call upon me, and you shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. And you shall seek me and find me, and you shall search for me with all your heart. And I will be found by you, said the Lord, and I will turn away your captivity, and I will gather you from all the nations and from all the places whither I have driven you, said the Lord, and I will bring you again into the place whence I caused you to be carried away captive. That's some good stuff right there. Do you ever miss having a neck? What? I don't remember not having one. Let's get back into this book, y'all. All right. At this point, God had just set his chosen people, the Israelites, free from over 400 years of captivity to the Egyptians. They were finally on their way to living the life God had designed for them to live. But there was a problem. Things weren't moving as fast as they thought, as they would have liked. Excuse me. Ooh. And they were getting restless. Their leader Moses was absent, and their impatience drove them to take things into their own hands. When the people saw that Moses was so long in coming down from the mountain, Moses was on Mount Sinai for nearly 6 weeks. They gathered around Aaron and said, "Come, make us gods who will go before us. As for this fellow Moses, who brought us out of Egypt, we won't know what has happened to him." I think it's important to point out the catalyst for what happened next. The instigating factor was having to wait. Don't you hate waiting? Most of us do. Waiting has never been a popular been a popular pastime, and our culture makes it worse. We live in a day of of fast this and instant that, and having to wait for anything is a big frustration. We started to believe that faster is always better. We become seduced by such words as instant and easy. We become quickaholics, dependent on getting what we want when we want it. Why do we hate waiting so much? There are many reasons, but I think one of the biggest is that waiting makes us feel helpless and powerless. Lewis Smedes described it like this: as creatures who cannot be by themselves bring about what they hope for, we wait in darkness for a flame we cannot light. We wait in fear for a happy ending that we cannot write. Oh shit, that's bars. Hold on, let me read that again, gang. What do you say? Hold on, what do you say? He said, as creatures who cannot by themselves bring about what they hope for, we wait in darkness for a flame we cannot light. We wait in fear for a happy ending we cannot write. Ooh, he snapped on that, didn't he? We wait for a not yet that feels like a not forever. As you probably know, Moses was always receiving the Ten Commandments from God. Apparently, he was away much longer than the children of Israel expected him to be. They were feeling frustrated, vulnerable, and helpless in the wilderness. So, in his absence, they decided they wanted a different God to worship. When you think about it, it's amazing how quickly re, this idol response set in. Just 3 months before, God had delivered them for 400 years of captivity. He had provided them. He had provided freedom when they were captive, deliverance when they were pursued, food when they were hungry, water when they were thirsty, guidance from a cloud during the day, guidance from a pillar of fire at night. You said I just read the answer to my video. What you mean? Yeah, they definitely be bugging in there. And it wasn't enough. None of it was enough for them to continue worshiping the God who had done all this. Instead, they decided to build an idol, a golden calf, and worship the calf instead. Why did they do this? I suspect it was because God was making them wait, and the children of Israel couldn't stand the waiting. This is important to note because apparently when the need for hurry meets the desire for control, it becomes really easy to start worshiping someone and something other than our Creator God. Aaron answered them, "Take off the gold earrings that your wives, your sons, and your daughters are wearing, and bring them to me." So that all the people took off their earrings and brought them into Aaron. He took what they handed him and made it into an idol, cast in the shape of a calf, fashioned it with a tool, and they said, "These are your gods, Israel, who brought you up out of Egypt." Okay. When Moses, so they're basically just worshiping gold, right? Money, huh? Right? They're saying God is gold, huh? When Moses walked down from the Mount Sinai with the Ten Commandments and saw what was happening, He became so furious that he tossed the two tablets that God had just etched onto the side of his behalf of the side of the mountain. As I'm sure you can remember, the first commandment was, "You shall not have no other gods before me." The very first law of the most famous moral code in the history of the world has to do with the trap of idolatry. God warns his people not to worship other gods. Don't expect anything other than God to give what only God can give. Why such a prominence for this command? I think it's because God knew something not only about the children of Israel, but about me and about you. He knows about the inner emptiness inside of us. He knows about the ache that haunts every one of us. He knows this longing for purpose, worth, significance, acceptance, security, love, and beauty pulsates through our veins, and we will stop at nothing, including building our own golden calves to fulfill those longings. He knows, remember, because he put those longings there to direct us to him. And he gave us that commandment to spare us from the heartache of empty promises. Furthermore, I think this commandment had prominence because it's almost impossible for us to follow and obey the other nine if we break the first one. You shall have no other gods before me. Just think about it. Your response to those 8 words influences every facet of your life. Adultery isn't simply a sin; it's what is fundamentally wrong at the with the human heart. I've made it a practice to look into others' eyes. The person who passes me in the grocery store aisle, the person behind the counter at the gas station, the person who rushes by me on the street. Do you know what I see most often? It is life, joy, love, vibrancy. No, most often what I see is exhaustion. Just look at the people around you, the people you live with, work with, or do life with. You'll see it too. They're exhausted, depleted, lacking. They may look like they have it all together, but under it all, they're falling apart. The church I've been blessed to pastor for the past 9 years includes plenty of singles. I was never really a single adult. I started dating Brandy when I was 19, and we were married at 21. So I basically transitioned from being a teenager to being married. But having spent a lot of time with single adults, I know they face a tremendous amount of pressure. I recently began meeting with a young woman by the name of Kara, who was also fairly involved with our church. I don't know her exact age, but I guess she's about 27. And when she showed up for our first appointment, it was instantly clear to me that she had been through some kind of hell. You should see the pain on her face. Kara started telling me that a guy she had been dating for the past few months had just called things off with her. She was distraught about their breakup. Though her tears, she just kept through her tears, she just kept saying, "I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of this. Why can't I find someone to to care for me? Why can't I find a relationship like everyone else? Why do I keep making the same mistakes over and over? I'm so tired of this." Over several appointments together, we started to talk a little more in depth about why Kara felt she needed a man. It wasn't just that she was lonely. To her, having a boyfriend gave her not only a sense of worth, but also a certain status. It made her feel like somebody. It made her feel like somebody. The trouble was, Kara couldn't seem to find what she wanted so desperately. Over the past 2 years, she had been through no fewer than a dozen guys. None of these relationships had worked out the way she desired, despite her attempts to become everything those men wanted her to become. She dressed to please them, arranged her schedule around them, deferred to their wishes, and she also had sex with most of these men, which only made her feel more used, guilty, and betrayed. I remember looking at one point and saying, "Kara, I don't think you were designed to give yourself away the way you do. And while you were designed for community and companionship, we all are. I don't think you were designed to find your purpose and worth in some guy. There may be numerous reasons why you don't feel like you're thriving right now in your life, and you have considered your real problem might be adultery. That you're looking to a man to give you only what God can give you." Mm. It's no surprise that Kara was feeling exhausted because that's the thing about adultery. It will plumb wear you out. Idols don't have the capacity to breathe life back into you, so all they do is take and take and take. In the same way, the women in India were given what little money they had in hope of getting pregnant, only to be felt, only to be left feeling robbed. You're going to give of your money, your time, and your energies, your heart and your passions, hoping one of your idols may finally deliver. But since idolatry is expecting something other than God to give you only what God can give you, and you end up having to depend on yourself and your own efforts to produce something only God can produce. In essence, you're playing God, and that's exhausting. So, to further complicate the issue, so many of the idols, the empty promises in our culture today involve performance. Performance is also very exhausting. Think about your own life. Are you tired of trying to keep the perfect house, striving to have the perfect marriage, looking like you have it all together, feeling the pressure to look like you just walked out of a out of a magazine, struggling to raise perfect kids who excel academically and socially and can crush a t-ball over the fence, working to make more money than everyone else in your circle, attempting to climb the ladder faster than the guy who's right on your heels? Are you weary of all the empty promises that leave you longing and aching for more? The performance driven lifestyle is just another form of adultery, and it will eventually leave you exhausted, bitter, and ready to give up. But I want you to read these powerful and healing words of Jesus. As your eyes scan them, I pray your heart will absorb them, Jesus said. Come to me and all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. I just posted that not too long ago in my post. Yes, Lord. Are you tired of striving? Tired of performing? Tired of trying to be someone you're not? What if there are another way? A way that gives life instead of inducing stress. You see, I believe that God has not given up on you. He is in fact powerfully present in your life. Even if he seems to be absent, he has revealed himself through a man, Jesus, who came to earth to show us how to live and die for our sins. In his resurrection, he gave us hope that he can indeed experience the fulfillment of our desires. Jesus is continually inviting people to give up their idols and follow him. Jesus and Jesus alone is worthy of our whole devotion. He alone is the authority to forgive all of our sins. He alone has the wisdom to guide our whole lives. He alone is invigorated, is leaves us invigorated rather than exhausted, at peace rather than anxious. He alone has the power to fill the gnawing inner emptiness we all experience, bring purpose to each and every day he sees fit to grant us as a gift. Mm. It's crazy how this is all like, yeah. I just do what God told me to do, y'all. Like, it's crazy how this is all like coming together like this. But I just hear the voice of God and I just do what God told me to do, y'all. Like I didn't know this book was talking that had nothing to do with Jesus or nothing like that. And it's ironic because I was just reading my Bible. I didn't read this. I didn't read nothing but the title of this book before I started reading it on live, y'all. Like I just found it at a meeting. I was like, I picked it up and I was like, I'm gonna read this later on. And then right before I got on live, I was like, let me read my Bible first. And it was just crazy how this stuff just connect together like that, man. It's just the story of my life. Synchronicity, just Ecclesiastes. I was just reading Ecclesiastes. That's crazy. Yeah, I was just reading. I was just reading there. Is that what I was just reading? And I didn't even know. Like I was reading Ecclesiastes. I don't even know nothing about Ecclesiastes, but I was reading it right before I came on live. It's in the back because I was looking for Peter. Where's Peter at in the Bible? Here you go. Damn. Okay, yeah, because somebody has just here you go right here. That's crazy. It's right here in the back. It must not be a long book because I couldn't find it when I was just looking for it earlier. It's only like a couple pages. You said Ecclesiastes what? He said, I'm never up at this time. Um, You said Ecclesiastes what? 12. I think I was just reading that. That's so correct. Yeah, you're right. This is very divine. This is very divine intervention right now. Um, maybe not just for you and me, but somebody else probably in here too. They might maybe not even have said nothing yet. But you said Ecclesiastes. I don't even know where. I'm trying to find where I said. Okay, here we go. You said what? 12, 13. You said. Yeah. I was really just reading in here. I was just reading. Okay, this is where I was just. I was just reading two. We're talking about God gives wisdom, knowledge, and joy. This is where I just read this before I got online. There's nothing better. This is Ecclesiastes 2:24. There's nothing better for a man that he should eat than that he should eat and drink, and that he should make his soul enjoy good in his labor. This is also I saw that it was from the hand of God. For who can eat and who else can hasten more than I? For God giveth to man that is good in his sight wisdom and knowledge and joy, but to the inner he giveth travail and to gather and to heap up that he may give to him that is good before God. This is also vanity and vexation of the spirit. I was just reading this too. And I turned myself, it say, wisdom excels folly. And I turned myself to behold wisdom and madness and folly. See, I keep burping. And like when I burp, that means something to me. Like my gut talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Like especially when I get to talking and I say certain stuff and if I got a flint and burp, it's just I guess that means I'm talking good. I don't know, but and I turn myself to behold wisdom and madness and folly. For what can the man do that cometh after the king, even that which hath already been done? Then I saw that wisdom excelleth folly, as far as light excelleth darkness. The wise man's eyes are in his head, and the fool walk in darkness. And I myself perceived also that one event happened to them all. Then I said in my heart, as it happened to the fool, so it happened to me. And why was I then more wise? Then I said in my heart, that this is also is vanity. For there is no remembrance of the wise more than the fool forever. Seeing that which now is in the days to come shall be forgotten, and how dieth the wise man as the fool. Therefore I hated life, because the work that was wrought under the sun is grievous unto me, for all is vanity and vexation of spirit. Now you say read 12, 13. Yeah, Ecclesiastes is a short book too, huh? Because this is my first time ever reading it. I never like really read it. I was reading the part where it talk about the hand of God. It was talk about the face of wisdom. I'm gonna get to 12:13. Let me read this. The face of wisdom. Who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. I counsel thee to keep the king's commandment, and that in regard of the oath of God. Be not hasty to go out in his sight, and stand not in an evil thing, for he doeth whatsoever pleaseth him. Where the word of a king is, there is power, and who may say unto him, what doeseth thou? Whoso keepeth the commandment shall fear no evil thing, and a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment. Because to every purpose there is time and judgment, before the misery of a man is great upon him. For he knoweth not which shall be, for who can tell him when it shall be? There is no man that hath power over the spirit to retain the spirit, neither hath power in the day of death. And there is no discharge in that war, neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. All this have I seen and applied my heart unto every work that is done under the sun. There is time that wherein one man ruleth over another to his own hurt. And so I saw the wicked buried who had come and gone from the place of the holy, and they were forgotten in the city where they had done so. This is also vanity. What is vanity? I need to look that word up. Vanity, because it keep talking about vanity, and I don't exactly know what that word means. Excessive pride or admiration of one's own. Okay, so it's like pride. Vanity is like basically pride. Excessive pride or admiration of one's own appearance or achievements. The quality of being worthless or futile. Futile. You said I'm reading too fast? Okay. I bake cookies for the homeless. Okay. God bless you. I showed as hell love me a damn cookie. 12:13. Remember your creator. Remember now thy creator in the days of the youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, the strong men shall bow themselves, and grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and the daughters of music shall be brought low. Also, when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fears shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and desire shall fail. Because man goeth to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets. Wherever wherever the silver cord be loosed, or the golden bowl be broken, or the pitcher be broken at the fountain, or the wheel be broken at the cistern. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it is, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. Vanity of vanities, said the preacher, all is vanity. Words of truth. Hold on, that wasn't even 13. No, that was now start at 12. Okay. You say, hold on. Oh, okay, 12, 13. Okay. Well, I started at 12, so shit. Okay. Words of truth. And moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge. Yeah, he gave good heed and sought out and set in order many proverbs. The preacher sought to find out acceptable words, and that which was written was upright. Even words of truth. The words of the wise are as goads and as nails fastened by the masters of assemblies, which are given from one shepherd. And further, by these, my son, be admonished of making many books, there is no end. And much study is a weariness of the flesh. The duty of man. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Hmm. What? Okay. You getting sent out. You're done, puppy. I be forgetting. I see. I started not to put on subscribers. I started to put on subscribers only mode But last night was cool. I didn't have no problems last night. But yeah, because last night I didn't have no problems, but tonight, now that I'm reading the Bible, yeah, so it'd be like that. Yeah, I just blocked them. Okay, my bad, y'all. They always be in here. Like I'm finna. Okay, so from now on, I gotta be yeah. I'm gonna start putting on subscribers only mode. Like I said, last night I didn't have to. Last night was a good live. I didn't have to block nobody. Nobody was saying nothing crazy. I mean, somebody probably said something freaky or something, but it wasn't nothing too like. It was like so haha, and that was it. Okay. I'm getting tired now. Cause I was like I said, I was trying to go to sleep, man. I couldn't go to sleep, but I just need another. Let me go grab me another black. I'm just moving into the black real quick. I know the last time I read on live, I got it made me super tired too. There's some good stuff though, y'all. What's they call that? I'm trying. I can't think of that word. Supernatural or something. Jeremiah 33:3. Yeah, I just learned. See, like, yeah, because a lot of people be like telling me stuff like 333 is like a whole bunch of Bible verses that's like got 333 in it. It's like calling on Jesus for help. I just found that out because people in my comments be pointing that out to me all the time. Would you say that's what happened when I get tired? That's why I be getting tired. Yeah, I believe you. The enemy works and he be working. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I keep burping too. Like as I keep reading, I keep burping. Like my body be talking to me. Like your body will talk to you, bro. Your body will talk to you. You just gotta know how to listen to it. Especially when you're speaking. Speaking is so powerful. Especially when you're speaking the word of God. Let me read that Jeremiah 33:3. Because I remember when I got baptized, the night I got baptized, right? My pastor, she had read to me something. It had something with 222 in it. Like but I can't remember what it was. I think it was like in Mark or something. Mark something. but I remember she pointed it to me and she read it. I think it's about something about speaking in tongues or something like that. I can't remember. I got baptized back in was that April? I think it was April. Hold on, February, March. Hold on. It's either March or April. I think it was April when I got baptized. I can do whatever I want. Call unto me, and I will answer thee, and shew thee great and mighty things which thou knowest not. For sure. Moreover, the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah the second time, while he was yet shut up in the court of prison, saying, said the Lord, the maker thereof, the Lord that formed it and that established it. The Lord is his name. Yeah, I probably was close to a revelation, but this is how it worked. All right. I got tired. Okay. Let's go back to the book. The book is getting good. All right. Let's see where we left off. I don't even know where I left off at. Yeah, I am getting distracted and tired, for real. It's divine intervention. It's okay. That's how it goes. Well, I'm on the right path, you know. I'm on the right path. As we, if we could all agree, you know. Like I said, I always do the best I can, and I just do what God tell me to do, and I trust God, and everything gonna work out, man. If I just, give my life to God and let Him use me, and let Him have His way with me, and but man, bro, I was mad at God for a little while there, man. For real, I was mad at God for real. I was, because he just put my life on display. I told God to use me, man. Use me for your glory, and just do just have your way with me, and He did, and it was uncomfortable. It really was, bro. God performed a fucking miracle on me. Excuse my language, in front of the whole world, and it is very like I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting it, bro. But it happened, and it's still happening, and it's gonna keep happening, and I'm learning to live with it, and submit to God, but it's not easy. It's not easy, bro. But like he said, my yoke is easy, but my burden is light, man. The blessings gonna come with a burden, but it is not. It ain't nothing compared. It ain't nothing I can't handle. It's not. But it just come with practice, and just keep going and keep doing it. I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better and better at it every day, and it's a beautiful thing. What did it say right here? Live life. It's a sign on the side. They say, live life to the fullest, laugh a lot, be kind, travel the world, be grateful, have faith, smile more, worry less, love with all your heart. That's the sign that's right there on the wall. And right next to us is two crucifixes say peace and mercy. Oh yeah, real talk though, man. He did. Like for everybody to see. My whole family, though, my whole hometown. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's seen it. Everybody witnessed, and it's still going. It's not gonna stop, bro. I just need to stay sober. I just need to stay sober. As long as I stay sober, bro, it's finna get like it's gonna get way more uncomfortable. The more sober I get, bro, the more higher God is gonna keep putting me up, and it's gonna get more uncomfortable and more comfortable too. But that's just this is wrath. That's the wrath of God, man. Like it ain't nothing to play with. And that's why I was just kept running. I was just running from it, bro, because it's scary. I fear God. I do. I fear God. God is. That's why they say fear the Lord, because, bro, things that God will do, you just can't imagine. And the things that He's done for me, bro, is like it's just blew my mind, bro. And the way and just like having the faith in God, bro, and just doing what He say, even when I don't want to do it. Like I was just trying to go to sleep, and I just did what He told me to do. You know what I'm saying? Got up, start reading the Bible, and then got on live and start reading again. Because it's like, okay, like, bro, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and why me? And that's why I asked God too. You know what I'm saying? Why me? Like, why me? Like, why you choose me, God? Like, I know I'm equipped, because I can handle it. Because I always knew, and I always asked. I always pray. I prayed for it. I prayed for it. I prayed for this. I pray. I did. Because I wanted a sense of. I have to have a sense of purpose in my life. Because why am I here? Why else am I here, bro? I'm perfect for what He want to use me for. But at the same time, I ain't gonna contradict what I just said. I'm perfect for what God wanted using me for, and that's it. And it's different. It's just different. It is. And sometimes I just want to run away from it, because it's a lot. It is. But it's good. I love God. Why do somebody keep? Is this somebody else in here talking crazy? Yeah. Okay. Let me see where I left off at. I don't think I got this far. Did I? I really did. Did I? Yeah. Chapter 2. After chapter 2, I'm going to bed, y'all. But I'm going to read this chapter 2, y'all. Lindsay is a strong woman who always seems to have a lot going for her. A great family, a good job, and a host of supportive and caring people God has placed in her life. She's been a family friend for almost a decade on an unusually cold and windy March day. I met Lindsay for coffee. I had asked her to meet me because I was a bit worried about her. Call it pastoral instinct or just a gut feeling. But when I ran into her at church the Sunday before, I could tell something just wasn't quite right. That's one of the beauties and sometimes annoying realities of having longtime friends around. They pick up on things an average acquaintance never would. As we sat down at the local coffee shop, I gave Lindsay the standard. You don't have to talk if you don't want to, but I just wanted to check on you. Everything all right? And that was all I needed to say. Before I took my first sip of coffee, she was pouring out her heart. It was almost as if she had all these emotions boiling under the surface, and she had been dying for someone to finally ask her. I don't know what's going on, Pete, she told me. At first, I thought it was depression and maybe a midlife crisis, but I just feel this sense of unhappiness. I spent the first 20 years of my life dreaming of what I thought I wanted in life. And I spent the next 20 years making that dream a reality. I've got marriage and family, and I thought I wanted the house, and I thought I wanted the career. I thought I wanted it. I've got it all, but none of us has met the expectations I built up. I thought achieving these things would fulfill me, so I've been running and running and running, trying to achieve my goals. But now that I've met them, I feel like I need to keep running because there's no satisfaction. I just don't know the point of all this anymore. Uh, I just don't know what's the point of it all anymore. I just wish I could say this was the first time I had heard words like this, like these, but it wasn't. Hardly a week goes by that I don't hear these same sentiments shared over and over. I spent the next hour and a half trying to help Lindsay look behind the curtain of her life. Like so many of us, she just been going through the emotions, chasing after what she thought would eventually give her meaning and purpose and satisfaction. What she needed to do was pause and begin to examine why she was chasing the things she was chasing, lurking below the surface. You see, the question we're dealing with in this book is not, do you have idols? We're already determined that the heart is an idol factory. The real question for any of us is this: which idol is God's biggest rival in your life? Several years ago, I found myself in a situation not that unlike Lindsay's. I guess if I'm honest, I've been there several times over the course of my adult life. In this particular instance, I discovered I've been deceiving myself in a number of ways, convincing myself I could find self worth from empty promises. In an effort to find out why I felt so empty, I started to pay more attention to what goes on internally. Paying attention or examining my life forces me to face the internal questions I can no longer keep quiet. I was compelled to face I was compelled to come face to face with what was lurking at the deepest level of my soul. These were questions I could no longer ignore. Why do I continue to say yes to others, even though I'm overextended and hurting those closest to me? Why do I continue to struggle with showing my wife love on a more consistent basis the way I should? Why are my emotions affected more by how many people show up at church than by just being in the presence of our caring God? Why do I continue to strive to find my identity in things like acceptance, power, and money instead of in who God says I am? Each and every question that came to my mind revealed another level of self-deception in my life. It revealed another empty promise I was chasing after. The Bible speaks quite frequently of this idea of self-deception. Obadiah 1:3 says, for example, the pride of your heart has deceived you. And Proverbs 14:12 warns, there is a way that appears to be bright, but in the end, it leads to death. The bottom line is that every single human being has an unbelievable capacity for self-deception. It's no wonder we fall for these empty promises over and over and over. The other day, the other day I was arguing with my 9-year-old son who wanted to go outside in the middle of winter wearing a t-shirt and shorts. I said to him, Jet, you're gonna freeze out there. Go put some clothes on. He responded, Dad, it's not that cold. Yes, it is, buddy. I've been out there this morning and it's literally freezing outside. We argued back and forth a few times, and then I said, son, remember the other day when you went out to play football, but you came inside because you were so miserably cold? It's that cold outside today. Despite my clear warnings in his recent history, Jet opted to go outside wearing next to nothing. 10 minutes hadn't passed by when I heard him fling open the front door, and come running inside. I said, "What's up, buddy?" He said, continued to run. As he continued to run up the stairs, he said, "I'm going to get some clothes on. It's freezing outside." I had to laugh. It's that kind of self-deception that has gotten me in trouble with empty promises over and over again. Despite the wisdom of God's word, despite what friends might be warning me about, despite my painful history, I somehow convinced myself that this time I'll find a purpose if I get a little more power, or I'll find a little, or I'll find significance if I become a little more popular. Help me know me. Knowing our capacity for self deception, how do we make sure that we're not regularly falling into that trap? People will often point to Psalm 139, 23 to 24 to illustrate the need for self examination. It says, "Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there's any offensive way in me and lead me in the way everlasting." But if you back up to the beginning of Psalm 139, you'll discover something interesting. The psalm actually begins by acknowledging that God has already searched us. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. Righteous Emmanuel, what's going on? It's needed. Sin equals judgment, death is needed while living so we can renew ourselves in our old ways and ability to live righteous so we can enter his kingdom with judgment day. Yeah. He led me in the past with righteousness. Yeah. Yeah, that's some good stuff, y'all. It's some good stuff. I'm so glad that y'all ain't here with me tonight. Um, this is not by coincidence. This is a divine appointment. Walk 3476. Appreciate you. And what's going on? But yeah, I'm getting tired, y'all. It's about time for me to give me something to eat and lay down. You know what's crazy though? Because I'm sitting here waiting to hear back from this job, right? They told me to get proof that I about when I went to jail and when I got out. I sent them the proof and now they're not saying nothing back, you know what I'm saying? And then my roommate, he was like, "Man, go to this temp service and you can ride with me to work." And he said this when I first moved in here too. Like, even though I already had a job in the way to end, you know what I'm saying? He was like, "Yeah, bro, you can come, and all I need is a license. We were gonna like driving or some shit. Like, all I need is my license, and I got a license still." But like, it's just like, guys, like, okay, yeah, because like someone was telling me like that job not finna. You don't want to go. You don't need to fuck. Don't go back to that job. The one I was at. It's a factory, but my roommate was just telling me earlier, like, man, you can get a ride to work with me because like I said, I ain't got my car right now, and so now I it's looking like I got a ride to work at a new job. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go fill out the application in the morning, and hopefully I can start in a couple days because like I said, the job I had, it's looking like they're not finna hire me back. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I feel like it's the right thing to do because and it's crazy because right before he said it, I was thinking it because he ain't been working like a week because of it. He had knee problems. You know what I'm saying? He had a you know what I'm saying he had something wrong with his knees, but he had like a medical excuse, and he going back to work in the morning. So it's just like it's just like everything come together, bro, and it's just like everything connecting and coming back together for a reason. And it's beautiful to watch it, but like this is like the story of my life, bro. This is just how everything works out. Even the good and the bad, bro. It's like it's just that's why I don't be mad. I don't like be stuck on the past and just upset with myself, bro. I just continue to love myself. Thank you, Lax. I so appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah. Yeah, God definitely guide me, and I can always hear His voice, and I can, I can just always hear God. Just always, I can just hear the voice of God, bro. I'm blessed, and but yeah, like sometimes it can just be. I run from it. Sometimes I do, and that's why I just be like, when I go back to when I was going back to use, it's just like, man, I just be want to do what LeVar want to do and not do what God want me to do, and that's why I be doing that, bro. Because it's just like but it's not about what I want. That's what God be trying to tell me. Like, it's not about what you want. If you do what I'll tell you to do, then you will love your life. You will have an abundant life. You will. You too. Not just me, but anybody that follows the voice of God. God just chose me to lead more souls to Him, bro. And that's all I wanted. And I told God, I just want to help people. You know what I'm saying? Even before I started my YouTube channel, like when I was gonna, it was like you gotta find something that you're good at, and I was like, what are you? And I asked myself, I used to ask myself years ago, like, what am I good at? I'm good at helping people. Bro. That's just one of the things I'm good at, and yeah, whether it's what's with like a compliment or just me speaking my truth, or whether it's literally like financially helping somebody, or any in any way shape or form, just helping, just helping people, you know physically, I don't know, like mentally, emotionally, however I can help, bro. That's just what I love to do. But I can't do it from an empty vessel. You can't pour it from an empty cup. That's why God would keep leading me back to the Bible. And to His word. I just gotta stay obedient. Stay sober and do what He tell me to do, and everything gonna work out. It ain't got no choice. Everything in my life ain't got no choice but to be abundant and prosperous and filled with joy and happiness and love and peace, which is what we all want, right? We all just want to be happy and peaceful, and what I mean, not everybody, because something like I just had to kick somebody about it on here, you know what I'm saying? But not everybody's peaceful, not everybody want that, but that's what the hell I want. Yeah. Wow. What's today? The 4th? The 5th? Yeah, almost a year ago today. Was it? I think it was February. It was either February 4th or February 5th. Was a year ago today. It was when I moved into a storage unit, right? Yep, for sure. I was getting ready to. Yep. This was around the time a year ago is when I had the urge to leave my dad's house. It's crazy how things work out, bro. It was like God was pushing me out. Like I couldn't sleep. I couldn't. I was so anxious. The moment that I moved out of my dad's house, bro, I was just overwhelmed with peace and joy, and oh my gosh, yeah, I can feel it right now. Yes, Lord. I see you. Yes, Lord. Come on, man. Yeah, that's just what I want. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel it right now. Holy Spirit. Genesis 14:13. I thank God every day when I wake up, man. I ask God to protect me, the whole armor of God, to protect me from the fire darts sent from Satan. Let's say Genesis 14:13. I ask God to guide me, to point me, to order my feet, man. And definitely protect me with that whole armor of God, because I'll be needing it. I'll be needing it. And I'm definitely going to need it to pray, because I've been in my Bible now. I should be expecting some attacks now, for sure. I done got here on reading the Bible and getting in my word. And so I'm ready now. So I need to be extra vigilant. For sure. That's how I go. I'm leveling up in the spiritual realm as we speak. So there gotta be some type of attack coming. No talking about it. We've sat here and watched it. I got tired. I ain't tired no more. I was ready to go end the live and go to sleep. But good morning. You said 14:13, and there came one that escaped and told Abraham the Hebrew. He dwelt in the plain of the Mam and the Amorite, brother of Eshcol and brother of Aner, and these were confederate in Abram. Hold on, you said 13:14, right? 14:13. You said 14:13. Okay. And when Abraham says his brother and captain of arms, trained servants and born in his own house, 318, and pursued them unto Dan. And he divided himself against them and his servants by night, and smote them, and pursued them unto Hobah, which is on the left hand of Damascus. And he brought back all the goods, and also brought back again his brother Lot and his goods, and the women also, and the people. And the king of Sodom went out, excuse me, went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of I can't read these names, and the kings that were with him in the valley of Shaveh, which is the king's dale. Abram the Hebrew. Yeah, I definitely need to stop smoking, man. That's another thing. God want me to do it, and it's just so challenging, dude. God want me to do. God be on my ass about it every day. Stop smoking. This is 12:1 through 4. You must got your Bible out too, or you just know scripture that good. Now the Lord has sent Abram to get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house unto a land that I will shew thee, and I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. Wow. And I will bless them that bless thee, and I curse him that curseth thee, and in thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed. So Abram departed as the Lord had spoken to him, and Lot went with him, and Abram was 70 and 5 years old, and when he departed out of Haran, 70 and 5 years old. You know, it's crazy because my birthday is 7/15, and that's the day like that my life changed, bro. That's the day that my channel, like, I made that video, and that's crazy. And that's the day that's when I started to move out of the storage unit. Well, okay, that's enough for tonight, y'all. I'm mind blown. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm getting off of here, man. That's enough for tonight, man. We might check it out again tomorrow or something. Same time tomorrow. Yeah, I'm finna go get me something to eat, and I'm going to sleep. I'm tired. I'm having tired. All right. God bless.